In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 ways credit cards have enhanced our travel. If you travel at all or are interested in traveling, you've probably seen ads for all kinds of credit cards, touting travel benefits and points toward free travel. It seems like every airline, hotel, and even cruise line has its own credit card, sometimes multiple credit cards, and that each major card issuer offers multiple cards giving benefits for travel. A few years ago, my wife and I found ourselves with time and ability to travel several times a year after our kids grew and left the house. I spent a lot of time, literally hours upon hours, researching all these options and evaluating whether it was worth it for us to get one or more credit cards to use while traveling. After a lot of research and trial and error, here are the 5 ways that credit cards have changed the way we travel. But before we get started, if you enjoy content like this, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It would really help us out. Number 1, we no longer need to get cash. There are several reasons why this is a great thing. First, you can almost always get a better exchange rate from your bank using your credit card than from anywhere else. On top of that, while ATMs charge fees and exchange counters in the airport or in tourist areas also charge fees to exchange cash, credit cards with no foreign transaction fees are becoming more and more prevalent. About 15 or so years ago, when I first started traveling abroad, there were only a few no-fee cards out there. And often these cards didn't have great points or cashback bonuses. But now there are tons of options out there for cards that you can use in any currency without being charged an exchange fee. Also, it's not uncommon for us to visit more than one country on a trip, and at times we've transitioned through areas with 5 or more currencies in one trip. Using credit cards means we don't have to have multiple currencies, and we rarely get cash in local currency if we're able to get by with just our cards. Number 2, hotel perks. We're hotel travelers. We don't do long-term rentals, and having some extra benefits at the hotels we use is a big deal for us. My wife and I both have Marriott cards that give us a free night certificate every year, and between our business and personal cards, we get 30 nights of stay credits each year toward our platinum status, which gives us several perks like late checkout, upgrades, and free breakfast at some Marriott brands. We hear a lot of negative talk about status with hotel chains not mattering anymore in the United States. But if you travel internationally, you know that status does still make a difference, and it really enhances the way we travel. For videos showing how we've used this to our advantage, check out the description below. Number 3, airline perks. Most domestic airline cards give benefits such as free check bags and priority boarding. It's nothing earth-shattering, but the check bags are nice, and boarding a little bit earlier is certainly nice for getting to your seat and getting space in the overhead bins. Delta's our primary domestic airline because of where we live, and for us, it's basically a necessity to have a Delta card. Number 4, lounges. Our travel days completely changed when we got airport lounge access. We use the Delta Sky Club often, and when we're out of the country, we have had some great experiences in Priority Pass lounges, and have even gotten some use out of Priority Pass in the United States. Most premium travel cards give some kind of lounge access these days, and for us, it is worth holding at least one of these cards so that we have access to these lounges. Number 5, points. It seems like there are basically 2 extremes when it comes to redeeming points. If you watch any amount of YouTube videos about points and miles, you'll hear about these amazing aspirational travel redemptions that often make it seem so easy to use your points to travel around the world in business class and stay in the best hotels and resorts. On the other extreme, many people feel that points are essentially worthless and too complicated or limited in value to get any real return from them. The reality for us has been that our lack of flexibility on travel dates and our inability to plan a year in advance has made it tough to find business class redemptions, although we have used our points on a few business class flights that were amazing. We have, however, used our points for free economy flights and for at least a couple dozen free nights in hotel rooms. And several times we have used points to pay for hotel rooms in the $500 plus a night range that we otherwise probably wouldn't have paid for. When we started traveling multiple times a year, I tried to find the perfect travel card that we could use for perks and benefits while traveling. Depending on how you travel or how much time you want to put into it, this approach may work. But for us, we have found that having 3 to 5 credit cards has really enhanced our travel experience. Watch this video next for the first 3 to 5 credit cards that I would get for travel.